Yeah, hi. So, I'd like to today look at shell voicings, um, which is really cool. It's just a stream down. Um, it's really putting all the major components of a chord into the chord, but minimizing the stuff that isn't all that necessary. And ironically, root and five is not all that big of a deal, as much as 3 and 7. Okay, so whatever your third is, if it's a major third or a minor third, uh, so that tells you a lot about the chord. It tells you if it's major or minor. You can have a major seven or a minor seventh, right? And so if I had say a C major seven, right, then that's got the root, right, and then I've got a B, which could be my major seventh, and then my E, which is my third. Right? So I get that. Right? And here's the C major 7 itself. Right? So you can see that really, doing this versus that, so that's just throwing in the extra fifth. And you don't necessarily even need the root, like I'm saying. So 3 and 7 is really cool. And the whole objective, I think, of these when you're using these shell voicings is really just to minimize the amount of stuff you have in your hand. So if you're doing melody lines included along with the chord voicings, so you can just say I'm going to do a 2-5-1. Okay, so I'm going to do D minor 7, which I'll use the D root, C and the F. That's the minor seventh and the minor third. Okay, now let's go to the G7. There's the G root. There's B and F. And all I had to do actually was just drop that. I had a little partial bar a moment ago for the D minor 7. Right? So all I had to do was open up the B string. And then there's my 1 major. Okay, so there's my C major with the C in the bass and 7 and 3 on the top. Now let's throw in an extra chord just to get back to the D minor, right? What about, say, an A7? And there, I didn't even use A, okay? So I only played C sharp and G, so the third and the flat 7. And that gave me enough of an information to say I'm playing a dominant 7. Right? So that's what's really cool about them, right? Is that you get all this, all the information you really need to advance on, and without a lot of clutter. I can throw in clutter, but it's actually best to, if you're going in this route. So you can, and it gives you all that ability to, throw in these extra, melodic inventions in between each one of the chord changes. Okay. And to bring it to light, if you're only using 3 and 7, then you're basically actually even on a double stop. If you think about it, right? Um, right? So what I did there was I kind of advanced through some of the upper partials that were available. So I did, there was the 7 and 3. This is over the D, right? Okay, so here's 9 and sharp 11, 10 and 5. So, or I could go up to there, right? And if I do that, let me see, what's that? Against C, there's the sharp 11 again, but now it's 6. Right? So you can think of them as double stop ideas too. Right? I love double stops. Right? So you get a lot of fun out of it. Just I've heard people call them dyads, but it's really it's not. That's like a takeoff of triads. Tree being 3, diode being 2-way. One way you're on, one way you're off. But it's really, they're called double stops. That's the technical terminology for So when I'm doing things like that, that's a double stop lick, right? Right, so I'm doing things like that. And some of those are actually more melodic inventions as to being a kind of a chordal thing. So that's the difference between shell voicings versus double stops, is the shell voicings are actually spelling out a chord, whereas a double stop invention is really just a riff that's harmonized. Right? So you think like that, and that's a better way. So anyways, yeah, so that's a simple little thing. So, and like I say, really, you learn your thirds and sevenths really well by doing that, and you're going to be doing this in every key because you're going to be trying to do every single chord you can, muster up. And of course, there's those times where you do need the augmented chord or the diminished chord, and 2 notes ain't just going to cut it, So. So yeah, there's a time and a place. But anyways, so that, I hope that helps you out on how that goes. Thanks for watching.